Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's video, I'll be reviewing this. This is Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Rainmaker's 3-pack. This is a Target exclusive, which includes 3 Seekers. Over here we have Acid Storm in blue, Ion Storm in green, and Nova Storm, let's see over here, in yellow. So let's get this on the review table. Here they are out of the box. It comes with a set of instructions for all 3 of them. It's just a single set of instructions because they're basically repaints, so no point in doing this 3 times to save paper. Let's put this aside. And over here from left to right we have the blue Rainmaker, Acid Storm. In the middle, the green one, Ion Storm. And over here, the yellow one, Nova Storm, and they make up the Rainmakers. Now, these guys are pretty plain, if you ask me. I mean, unlike Siege Starscream, if you look over here, you notice how his arms are different. The toes are a different color. These guys are pretty much a solid color for whatever respective color they are. For like solid yellow, green, and blue. Like Thundercracker probably uses the same blue or slightly different shades, but has different color lower arms. But you know, I personally don't really like that they are that plain. But if you look at the G1 cartoon, they were pretty plain, and these are pretty much true to form when it comes to the colors for the Rainmakers. Personally, I hope Toy Hacks does a label sheet for them to kind of break up all the solid colors that they have. I hope so. Hopefully they do. But if they don't, you know, I like them as is as well. You know, it's just a minor gripe. I think it would look a lot better if they did some paint apps here, change this here, change the lower arms. But, you know, it is what it is. It's also probably a cost-saving measure on Hasbro's part when they made this 3-pack. It retails at $79.99. Normally, a Seeker would cost $29.99, so to get 3 of them would normally be about $90, and in here it's about $80. So maybe that's where the cost savings went, so that we can get the 3-pack and at a discounted price, opposed to paying for the price of 3 Seekers. Okay, anyway, let's get on to the review part. So because they're all the same mold, I'm not going to do articulation and everything individually. I'll just do it with one figure because it applies to all, and even with the transformation. But before we get onto that, I just want to get some close-up detail shots of these guys. So first up, we have Ion Storm. Take a look at it. Now, he does not have that smirk that Red Wing has. He has the same face as Starscream. He has some light piping. Let me see if I can get that shown here. So this is going to be pretty much the same for everybody. There you go. Some nice light piping here. He does have battle damage. It doesn't seem to be... I mean, it's a more grayish than silverish, I think. It's a little heavy-handed to me on the legs, but that's nothing new. Go down here. But you know what's the cool part? Because they lack so much paint apps, removing the battle damage, if you want to do that, there's very little chance that you'll actually remove paint apps that are not battle damage. See a small Decepticon logo here. That's the wing on the back. Okay, let's take a closer look at Acid Storm. I'll put him on the side here. Same thing with Acid Storm. You can see he has the battle damage as well. Same head sculpt, nothing, pretty much just the same figure in a different colored plastic. Okay, let us take a look at Nova Storm here. Same head sculpt. See the battle damage again. I may clean it off just because I'm not risking taking off any paint apps that I do want to keep. Here's on the back. Okay, let's get on to articulation. First, the head is on a ball joint. Can rotate 360. Tilt around. Very cool. The arms, if you bend the wings back, they're very posable, so you can bend the wings back. He can rotate his arms 360. Lift it up at the shoulder. Rotate 360 here, and he does have wrist articulation. He does have waist articulation. So if we put this up, he can rotate his waist this far back, but his backpack isn't away from going completely 360 at the waist. He can do the splits. He can kick this far. Bend this much, a little further if you press this down because of transformation, and kick this far back. He does have ankle tilt here, very minor ankle tilt, and some articulation on the toe, back and forth like this. The wings have, like as I said earlier, has some articulation. You can see over here the wings can be folded back like this, can be spread out like that, because it goes out like this, which is really cool. Makes for some very cool poses. Like the other Starscreams, he does have a flight peg on his butt, so you can a flight stand hole. So that, all in all, pretty cool. Okay, next. For transformation, let's just remove the weapons. First thing I like to do is the arms, so let's tuck these arms in by opening the panel and flipping that in, opening the panel, flipping that in, and then pushing his arms in like so, that direction as well. Next, I like to lift up the chest. Now the cool part about the chest pieces on these guys, it's not Starstream where it's really floppy. It will stay on, it won't pop out. Lift the back up like so. Rotate the waist. Flip the panel in the back of the head. Snap it in and put the head back. Swing this part down and put it together. Press here and fold the legs into here and tab it into this slot. Close the toes. Bring the arms here and stick it into these little tabs. Bring the jet up and bring the nose down here like so. And then fold the wings. Okay, make sure they all snap in together in place like this. And then bring this part down. Last but not least, bring the chest part up like this and snap it in. There you go. Next, we put in the weapons into the wings. And there we have all three Rainmakers in their Tetrajet mode. So let's take a look at them a little closely individually. Let's put these guys aside here. Make some room. Here we have Acid Storm. A little heavy-handed on the battle damage, in my opinion, in jet mode for him. At least on one side. I mean, look at this side. This one side, not so heavy-handed. On this side, it just seems too heavy-handed. The battle damage on Nova Storm, it's manageable for me. I'm okay with it. I don't think it's as I don't know. Maybe it's the same. It's just more noticeable because if you look at Acid Storm here, his battle damage is more of a silver type and his is more of a gray. But I guess it's exactly the same kind of splatter. Maybe it just stands out more for me with the blue than the yellow. Here is Ion Storm. Yeah, it's the same splatter pattern I'm noticing. It's just for some reason with Acid Storm, the blue jet, I don't know, it sticks out more for me. I mean, all in all, I still like these a lot. I mean, it is going to bolster my Decepticon forces for Siege by a lot. I mean, 3 is a lot, considering there's not a lot of Decepticons for Siege. So here is Siege Starscream. Come to think of it, it looks like the splatter pattern is the same. Yeah, for all of them. Let me get out Red Wing real quick. Yeah, it's the same splatter pattern. Red Wing is not as noticeable because it's kind of a dark maroon, opposed to these guys where it's a bit more noticeable. So if they are heavy-handed with it, it can be seen. Okay, let's get these guys into robot mode and get my final thoughts. All in all, I really like this 3-pack. Now, personally, I wish that they had more paint apps and they weren't so true to form with how they looked in the G1 cartoon. That's just my personal preference, and I'm really hoping Toy Hacks makes something to add a little more detail or to break up all of that solid colors that each of these Rainmakers have. Like I said in the past, this is my favorite Seeker mold, and I did say I wouldn't mind if Hasbro repainted this mold as many times as possible to get all the Seekers out, etc. But I honestly though, and it could be just because I just reviewed Red Wing and I just did these 3, but I am probably not looking forward to reviewing Thundercracker. I may or may not review Thundercracker, just because I've done so many reviews on that same mold by that point, which is unfortunate and too bad for Thundercracker. But you know, if there's no joy in reviewing the toy, like for me, why do it? Who knows? I may change my mind by then. Thundercracker and Skywarp doesn't come out till next month, which is just a few short days away. So I could be Seeker out at this moment in time. Who knows? We'll see. If the excitement is there, I'll do it. But after reviewing the Seeker 3-pack, you know, it'd be nice if Hasbro didn't release them all at the same time. I'm kind of longing for other Decepticons or other Decepticon body types at least, because my Siege Decepticon collection is starting to look so identical in all the wrong ways. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and thanks for watching.